All right. Hello, everyone from the Saber Legion. Welcome, welcome. We are super excited to bring you another episode of Director's Corner. It is 2:00 by my standard Eastern, and this is when we said that we would go live. Obviously, it's like 1:00 Central and all the other maths. So hope that you can tune in either now or afterwards so that you can get the full scoop from all of Wisconsin and the wonderful Wookiees that we have here today. So we're going to go through what everybody is doing, who they are, and get you a little introduction to the Wookiees. So let's start with Seth.
Okay. Hi, I'm Seth Glendenning. You've probably seen my name on Facebook a lot. And Jerry Chubb and I, you can kind of see Jerry in the chat, we are co-charter reps for the state of Wisconsin. And I've had lots of help from Melody Graham for organizing Bladetoberfest. And so, hello, I am your main tournament director, but kind of a lackey under some people like Melody at the same time.
All right. Jerry, would you like to go next?
I suppose I can do that. I'm Jerry Chubb. I've been around TSL for a very long time. I'm the other co-rep for Wisconsin. And, Bladetoberfest's been a dream in the works for probably over 2.5 years at this point in time. So I'm really glad that this is coming to fruition.
Now, Jerry, you've actually been with the Saber Legion since TSL 1 because I have pictures of you and Jared together.
Yep. I'm OG TSL, just like Jared is. So I've been around the block times.
Well, the block appreciates that. So let's move on to Andy Cameron, the wonderful, wonderful Andy Cameron, and Mr. Fabulous.
What's up, everybody? I'm Andy Cameron, Mr. Fabulous, and I'm in charge of the lower tier prizes, I guess. Seth is in charge of the medals and whatever else we got going for first, second, third place. And I'm in charge of what I like to call the Brian Williams fourth place award. And that's because Brian Williams took fourth place in Virginia. Not that we're predicting any more fourth places, but he's also not here to defend himself for the dog doing what he's doing. Okay, this is.
If you're gonna be consistent, at least be consistent.
Rocking the Jared Graham mohawk.
Oh, I love
it. That's hopefully one of the next generation Caroline. Next generation women's champ, hopefully. All right?
Yeah.
Nice.
Or Wonder Woman shirt on. All right. Maybe you guys will meet them next weekend. We're not sure.
All right. And right on to Jason, the Voorhees.
Hello. Okay, that was interesting. Hi, I'm Jason, the Voorhees Davis, and I'll be doing much of the video. I'll be recording the whole event, so that way we can premiere the whole event coming up in October after the next Underground. And then we're also going to do a live stream, which Tom and I will be working on to have the finals live streamed. It won't have commentary and such, but we'll get that out there so people want to watch the day of. We'll be there ready for you. And I'm sure I'll be the one to take all the complaints. But hey, we'll have it there for you.
Hey, I'll take all the credit if you take all the complaints. We'll divvy it up.
The complaints will sound like, make the line judge move.
I have signs planned. Oh, yeah, I have signs planned. Do not block cameras. Filming in progress.
Oh, just we don't what we
people can read
somebody's backside on the camera. Come on, that'll be awesome footage.
So we're going to talk a little bit about everything. We have our first question actually already. Comes from Tinker Train. Hey guys, is there an upper limit to participate in the Saber Legion tournament? It says league, but I'm at the Legion tournament. Just curious.
Yeah, I can happy to take that. We do not have an upper age limit restriction. The only caveat I would say to that is that Tinker Train is in Las Vegas for TSL 5. We did have a 50 plus league. We're not doing a 50 plus division, so to speak. So there's not that extra division. And if you're asking about lower age, we do require that they have to be 18 or older to participate. But we do not discriminate for older folks, more experienced folks. How about that?
Yeah, I think Charlie, after the last one, after now he's been added, he's officially had his 50th birthday. He would like it to be now renamed the Masters Tournament, because if you're 50, you're a master.
Oh,
I
perfect.
like that. Yeah.
So come and join us. And yeah, there's no upper requirements. You can be whatever age and participate in the Saber Legion. So
we have people even in our local club that are over 50. We got lots of people in their 40s. I'm 40 myself. So we've got people as young as 18, actually a 16 and 17-year-old that come to our meets. But again, they cannot compete yet. So.
Right. 16 and 17-year-olds can come to charter meets and practice with you guys, get all the training. And then, after they're 18, they can launch onto the stage and premiere with all their training that they've been gathering for the last 2 years. So that should be wicked cool. All right. So we were going to talk about how Bladetoberfest came to be. We've been in a pandemic and, still at some places, and how this dream was born and has been built over the last 2 years.
Jerry, why don't you start that, and then I will finish it off and fill it in. So why don't you be a part of it as well?
So Bladetoberfest was the brainchild of one of our base members way back in the day. Hey, Shannon, you're right. But and his name is John Renard. He came up with this idea, and we started kind of building it. Once the charter really got large enough to have enough people, we really started thinking, hey, let's see if we can actually make this idea work. And we put it to the ownership at one point in time and kept it going. Of course, COVID slowed it down. Otherwise, we would have done this last year. So the idea was just to Wisconsin, have a meet. I know that the Twin Cities is kind of central mecca, and each state kind of has their own thing if they have big enough charters. And, well, we want to get on the fun.
Yeah, when our Wisconsin charter about 3 years ago, people don't realize this, but we were only at 3 people. And nowadays we're at, if you include Madison, Milwaukee, and people that are coming at least like once a month, we're close to 40. And so we're very proud of our growth in membership and weekly meetings. And as a part of that, a couple of years ago, we had plans, and actually was approved for last year. And of course, COVID hit. But we are very excited to have this. And we've been dreaming it for a while. And it's going to be a lot of fun. So come to Wisconsin, where the beer is the best, and we make old fashions correctly. And we have grilled cheese curds, squeaky curds, we like to call them.
Come to the land of beer and cheese curds.
Yeah, and Packers, right, Jason?
The Bears.
We should give out cheese curds for consolation prizes.
I actually had thought about that. I might pick some up from Mullins. As it is. Yeah, I'm like, we probably need.
Well, I have no idea what a cheese curd is at all.
You'll learn.
What?
You'll learn the various types, tried and untried.
And we will have.
I have no idea what a cheese curd is, but I am excited to go next weekend and figure that out.
Yeah.
I think Seth has promised to buy me my first cheese curd, so I'm excited. So, I'm
gonna buy you a lot of first everything.
Huh?
I'm going to buy you a lot of first everythings. Get them fast food and cheese curds. We're gonna do it right.
I'm excited.
But not too much on the cheese, because you know what happens.
Yes, I'm with you, girl. I'm with you. I understand. Just a bite, just a little. All right.
Where we deep fry everything.
Ooh, that is different.
First too late, Shannon, and now this. Really.
You're welcome for the good advice.
That's 2 strikes.
Yes, Jared, there will be cheese.
Yeah, I I was going to say silver lining to having COVID, I guess, like having that extra year. I think we've had time to really perfect some stuff, and it's going to be a much better show. I think like Jason's put a ton of time into media stuff and kind of has that dialed in, and some good plans for cameras and getting stuff recorded, and getting better numbers and everything. So yeah, it's been a productive year, I think. So
I think
We've
so
had
too.
a year.
Remember not to.
Speaking of all this food, what can people expect when they come to Bladetoberfest? Like, you maybe give us the rundown. What are they going to expect for the weekend? Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and then what can they expect to enjoy while they're there as far as food and culture?
I will try, and then maybe Shannon or Andy want to butt in for some of the things for the city or other cool things to do. But I'll kind of give the overall schedule, and some of you can maybe advertise a little better. But Friday nights is we're going to actually start check-in about 5 o'clock. Anybody that wants to arrive to Emmanuel Baptist Church can help us set up. You can actually do gear check-in, like I don't know how many hours it is ahead of time, like 20 hours ahead of time. And there may even be some open sparring that Friday night as soon as we're done with setup. And then when we're kind of tired and before you get hurt or too tired, we will go out to eat together and, go home, get some rest. Because we're going to start gear check right away at 8 in the morning. We can be there as early as 7:30, but officially we'll start gear check at 8. And then the event is starting at 9 o'clock. So our first pools, guys, is early in the morning as far as the tournament goes. I guess Vegas, it's normal. But, I mean, right away,
There
9
is-
o'clock pool, we're going. Because we got a very packed day. Like 9 till 1 is our standard pools. We've got exotic brackets. We've got the women's tournament, and then we got our standards finals. So we're going to be going solid till probably 6 or 7 at night. There are some breaks staggered in there, and we will have 2 rings set up for sure. And the third ring, we're hoping to use as possible open sparring, perhaps underground filming, but kind of a playground, if you will. I'm getting a lot of feedback. I don't know if that's me.
I think that's Shannon.
And then on Sunday, weather pending, we will do some sparring at Marathon Park. So if you want to really get some organized tag team matches, I know Alec and I are going to destroy some other tag team out there. I don't know what they're called, but they will die mercilessly. And so there will be tag team fights on that Sunday, because I think tag team is just a really fun division as far as more people involved. There's more camaraderie and a little bit of banter and all that kind of stuff. But that's what Sunday will be reserved for, again, assuming weather will be good. If it's going to look kind of not so great, then we might try to squeeze it in our third ring on Saturday. So it's going to be a full weekend, a great weekend. Oh, and on Saturday night, we're going to be going to the Great Dane. They make it's a very large brewery. They have great food and they got lots of space. And so everybody will be able to be with each other and have a nice meal. And so, if you come for nothing else, come for the fun. As I always say with TSL, the competition is just one slice of the pie. I mean, most of us are in TSL because of the community, maybe the exercise. For me, I love a little bit of the adrenaline rush, but I have my best friends in TSL. Like, if I was ever to get like married again, I'd be like, have some weird friends, like Andy might show up, so I don't know. It's been a good ride, and it's going to be a great weekend.
Yeah, and well, Bobby has a question. He says, sparring at the church, not at the park, Facebook page says.
Sure. Yeah, that Friday nights, they may be inaccurate. It kind of depends on the weather. But probably on Friday nights, after we do setup, if anybody arrives, we'll do a little sparring at the church, because we'll be able to store our gear there, and we might as well test it out a little bit. And then on Sunday, the park will have sparring again, because we do not have the facility on Sunday. We do have it for Friday night and all day on Saturday, and it's a really nice facility. It's a hard like basketball gym floor, like you'd expect like at a YMCA. That's nice. It's a little noisy, granted, but it's very spacious. There will be enough room for seating, enough room for gear, enough room for 3 rings. So we're really lucky to have that space.
We shouldn't be crowded.
No, we should not.
nice bathrooms. There's actually a playground, a fenced-in playground attached. If anybody's bringing children along.
Is there a locker room or place for people to change? I forget.
There is actually showers and locker. I think we'll try to maybe, I don't know. I'll ask about that. But they do actually have showers and a locker room in the back. But probably avoid that.
All right. Well, I mean, I'm excited because in Florida, we've always done a big community. We're big on community too. And I think one of the best parts about TSL is always the ability. I mean, there are a lot of fights you can go have with a lot of organizations, but TSL always brings several things to the plate. Some of the best media, some of the best opportunities, some of the best prizes, but absolutely the best community. So, I wanted to talk about what is the plan for lunch. So like one of the times, actually the Mr. Brian Williams that you're referring to came down to Sun Crusher. He won a prize that we were doing called Sun Crusher Strong. And he won. And so he got all expense paid trip down for Sun Crusher.
Oh,
Nice.
This is Sun Crusher 3. So it was November of 2019. We were raising funds for Vader Jolt and their grandchild who had passed. And so we raised money and then we were able to raffle off that prize and he won. So Ryan got to come and have the Florida experience and learn many things when he came down and enjoyed it. But I learned that some people like to eat before they fight and even when they're fighting or before and after they're fighting. So what are some of the things that people can have on site if they need those kind of refreshments?
All right, Shannon, you want to run us through that?
Yeah, so I had to put my typical Wisconsin matriarch aside and not bring a casserole. We're going to go on the lighter side of things, just enough to kind of keep people fueled and kind of balanced. So we had thought about like small packs of trail mix, some fruit. We'll have Gatorade on hand, some water, maybe some protein bars, things like that. But just, some small things so that nobody gets weighed down, but we're still balancing, the protein with the carbs and keep everybody running. The location of the church for Bladetoberfest is really nice because Rib Mountain Drive is just a straight shot down and all of the different restaurant options, your fast food things, McDonald's, Quick Trip, all of that kind of stuff is there. But, Red Robin, stuff like that, it's all right within there. So if you guys do want to go out and grab something a little more substantial or you're, done for the day and you're hungry right away, there's tons of options that are close by. I think as far as we know, Seth, we had kind of agreed on payment for the snacks on like an honor system. I don't know if you thought any more about that, but certainly it won't be anything super expensive, so just some light things to keep everybody going.
Yeah, we'll just have a bucket for drop-in cash. And like Shannon said, we'll have things that can kind of hold you over if you're coming from out of town or didn't get a chance to get something. If you know you're going to want to eat something and you want to pick up a sub like in the morning from gas station or from Subway, that might be smart. But our afternoon schedule, because it has exotics and with the women's tournaments, there is an hour in there. So as Shannon said, there is enough time to go get something to eat, we thought. And enough of us Wookiees, that's our Wisconsin charter, would be willing to, take you in a little bit truckloads, to get some food that is really necessary, or we can do orders. But I know for me as a fighter and a lot of the other fighters I've talked to, we don't want to eat a big meal. I would actually almost rather just take protein and like my frog fuel and kind of make it through the day without being like totally empty stomach and then eat a big meal in the end. But that's me. So having a big meal was not appealing in the middle of the day.
I am very much the same. I usually exist on protein bars during the tournament, but to each their own. You have actually inspired. So we have the Tinker Train down here. It says now he's off to join the Arizona charter, which actually we're going to have two people coming up from the Arizona charter.
Right.
So Thanks for the inspiration. So good job, guys.
Yeah, Tinker, I hope you are plugged in with Mark Carrico and Greg. Somebody help you with Greg's last name. Is it Stevens?
Greg Stevens.
Yeah. So they're coming up from Arizona. So maybe you can jump on that Tinker train. But you should connect with them. They're great guys. And I know we got to meet Greg this summer and we liked him a lot more than Mark. No, I just kidding.
Greg is awesome, and he's actually also was participated in the 50 and over tournament.
Yeah.
So if you're looking for somebody who can relate, you're definitely gonna see that. All right, we got our next question here. What kind of prizes are offered for the winners of the tournament? Ooh, what shinies do you have for us?
Andy, I'll let you take that, and then I can be your Vanna White to display the medals and stuff too. But why don't you take the prizes? Question.
Great.
Yeah.
Well, we have actually kind of duplicate prizes for first, second, third place. There's medals, and there's also studios. I think the medals are 3D printed by Aaron Riley, right?
Yes, we have a couple of different ones. These are, go ahead, you want to talk through? There we go.
Some super cool medals with the Wisconsin cheese on the back. Beautiful. So we've got those first, second, third place for exotic, standard, and the women's.
Yep.
Which is getting bigger by the day. We started out, we had like 4 women registered. Now we're up to 6 or 7.
Yeah, right, 7.
So we're getting a very big women's tournament, which is fantastic. And these awesome Subas made by some folks in Arkansas. I'm not sure if I can say who, but they're awesome. Very cool medals
We also
there.
have some extra coasters.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah.
That is cool.
Very cool.
I love that logo on the back, actually. I love that.
Cheese logo. Yeah, I don't know for that. But awesome. The Wookiee Spirit Award, that's going to be an in-charter award. After the weekend, the Wookiees, I believe, will vote on who displayed the best spirit. I'm not sure how we're going to define that, but some sort of blend of courage and not being Seth, I imagine. So that they can win the Wookiee Cup. We also have, for 4th place, I have some very rudimentary woodworking skills and emphasis on rudimentary. So I mean, some very simple stands for people to put their sabers on, just a single saber out of wood. So that'll be a 4th place prize. I will post some pictures of that at some point on the Bladetoberfest page. And then I know a guy who does, it's kind of an amateur artist, but he likes drawing characters a lot. So I asked if he could draw a TSL fighter in their kit, and he agreed to do that. So we have that as part of the 4th place. And can we call it the Brian Williams 4th place prize? Because it's just.
I think we should. He's not going to be there. He's having a kid.
Yes.
Yeah, so we'll call it for the Brian Williams 4th place award. So a saber stand and then a custom drawing of the fighter made by a local artist up here. So, and that will be, I believe, a digital drawing. I'm not sure on that, but that keeps getting delayed. But any day now, we should get a sample on that one. So have some concept art for that. We're also going to do, sorry, Wallace is here again. We're also going to do, we will vote. So we got to figure out how to do that. But we're going to vote for who has the best kit, the best looking kit in the tournament. And they will win also a custom drawing of themselves and probably the extra saber stand that I made. Let's say hi then.
So where are your shinies?
Hi, Mom.
Okay. Next generation. All right, and then what else do we have? We have
the lessons.
Oh yeah. The best. They have the best things. So we also have the Voorhees is going to donate this time to put together like a 90-second highlight reel for a fighter. And I think what we're going to do is do like a raffle for who this is like their first tournament. So kind of get some of the beginners involved. So that'll be a prize there. So you can send your clips from fighting in kind of wherever, I guess, if it's charter meets or just whatever it is. Send those to Jason, and he's going to edit that together to make a nice highlight reel for somebody, which would be super cool to post that on your Facebook page. Like, here's what I'm doing. Also, Jia Wu is going to accept fighting footage from people and then provide written feedback based on that. So he's going to like fight analysis. And he's donating his time for that.
These are all really amazing prizes. I love how, a lot of tournaments you go to, you might get a Saber, you definitely probably get a medal. But I love how you guys are thinking outside the box and really, some of these things like the lesson and like that's really so community minded, and it really helps make connections to people who maybe you would never make those connections to. So I think that's fabulous. And how you're doing the gear and the Wookiee cup. The Wookiee cup, I love the Wookiee cup. So does Patty.
I honestly think this is like the most important prize. I mean, because this is to that fighter that shows the best sportsmanship. Apparently that's not me, but somebody else normally shows sportsmanship, is good character, and it just kind of represents TSL. And Andy, I know I didn't mean to cut you off, but Andy, there's also Alec Martinez.
Yep.
And I figure he's on a really good team, but he is
the very beautiful Alec Martinez is going to give a one-on-one, 1 hour long Zoom lightsaber fighting lesson. So that's huge. That's just a great prize that I would like to get.
Spending an hour with Alec Martinez,
holy cow, right? So yeah, so hopefully he's not. You might have to give him a week after the tournament to schedule that. He's probably kind of sad from losing his tag team match. Yeah, it should be a very good prize.
Who's going to be losing the tag team match?
Well, your partner dropped out entirely, so you were going to lose the tag team match, but then you lost your tag team.
So you're saying I need to find a new tag team partner? Okay.
You are welcome. The Frogs will take all comers. Absolutely. You can make a team, bro. We'll be around.
LED Saber, very well. Okay, they're LED sabers.
Yes, thank you, David.
They're lead sabers.
Yeah. And shout out to Joe Chip. I think he's still in the crowd. The best tag team partner there is.
LED Saber. We just have to be careful. They're kindly reminding us to not step on the mouse. So, all right. Well, we're going to talk about also accommodations, right? So people are traveling in to your location. We've talked about the wonderful food and the opportunities, your amazing community, which I have to say personally, just side note, I wasn't really sure about coming to Bladetoberfest, honestly. I will tell you. But at TSL 5, your community won me over. Like, just, yes. Your community won me over. Like, just the people who represent you, who go out from you to represent your community, do such an amazing job that I was like, I have to go. I have to go.
You do.
So I
can't figure out who these people are because I don't know any of these people.
So speaking of staying there, are there any recommendations for fighters where they should stay when they come for Bladetoberfest?
Yeah, does someone want to take that? This is not me talking the whole time. Shannon, do you remember the places?
I thought everyone was staying at Seth's. I know we are.
Me too. I know.
Okay, I can run through it. Our first, in the event description, we do have something called Bladetoberfest details, and it does has these hotel recommendations. That being said, we agreed that the Hampton Inn, or maybe it's Hampton Bay, I think it's Hampton Inn, which is not far from the Great Dane restaurant, not far from the tournament location, not far from Marathon Park, is probably the best and like medium affordable option. There's a really nice hotel called the Hilton Garden Inn that overlooks like Rim Mountain and is absolutely gorgeous, but it's a little bit pricier, not like, astronomically high, but that would be like the nicest hotel that we offer. And it's an awesome location as well. And then our third option was the Days Inn for costs, and it's also really close to like food in the tournament. So any of those options are good, just kind of depending on your price range. I'd probably go with the Hampton first as what we agreed on. So, but that is in the actual tournament post, and you can kind of see those locations and breakdowns. So, and then Shannon and Andy's house is the other one.
Yeah,
they can stay there for free. So
Shannon will even cook you breakfast.
Yep.
Yeah, I will. I absolutely will.
All right. Greg Stevens, by the way, wants to clarify that he is not lumped in with the crazy Arizona guys. He's in Nevada.
Oh,
Your case at all, Greg.
Oops.
I am sorry about that, Greg.
But they're very close to each other, right?
They are, yeah.
I'm not.
And they're also carpooling, so I feel like we can lump them together, sort of.
Yeah, they're at least like friends. They're like adjacent. So
They're
anyway,
driving 30 hours to get here. That's
I'm hoping to do like a podcast on your way out there, like a little road trip podcast or something.
Yeah.
Oh my God, that'd be Mark.
Right, Mark on the road.
To you guys, road tripping with Carico, next quarantine TV show.
That would be.
I love it.
He registered himself as Catico. So since he loves animals so much, I thought that was pretty appropriate. Catico. I don't know.
Are we sure both of them will actually make it to the tournament if they're road tripping together that way and podcasting it the whole way?
Survival.
We only get one of the two.
What, do we want to lay odds on that or what?
Still, guys.
2,100 miles, man.
Yeah.
Nice.
All right. Well, let's talk about the actual tournament. So in the morning, so we have gear inspection. If you did not get your gear inspected on Friday evening at the church, then you would come in Saturday morning. You would do your gear inspection from 8 to 9. And then let's just talk about the structure. So we have standard in the morning, and then exotics and the women's tournament. And then we're doing single limbs for standard. And that will actually finish out our day. At the very end, we'll do the top 4 to, obviously promote that. And we want to spotlight those, fights, obviously. But what made you think about adding, like, a standard tournament for a regional event is pretty normal, but what made you think about adding exotics and the women's tournament to Bladetoberfest?
I guess it was just came down to a communal decision. Like, what do we want and what do we want to be able to present? And it's been my dream to build the women's division in Wisconsin for a while, to have more women, because if there's more women, there's more men, that kind of thing. But I would really like to see more participation. I know a couple of years ago, I did a class at the YMCA, and it was called Wausau Saber Academy. And I thought I was going to get a bunch of dudes, and ended up having like 8 middle-aged women and teenagers in my class. And I was like, okay. In fact, Jason Davis's wife, Patty, was one of my first students. And I'm like, okay, here we go. And so I was like, you know what? There is a wide interest out there, and we have a great community of both men and women. I would like to see that grow more. And actually, our prizes are pretty much equal between the standard tournaments, the exotics, and the women's. So you get equal medal, and it's going to be a lot of great fights. I can already see that. And I bet you, like the Amazons down in Florida, the Valkyrie is what we're calling our women up here in the North, are going to go. And I bet you the Amazon and the Valkyrie are going to match well. So,
yes.
Very nice.
Right.
I was gonna say, yeah, I'm really, really happy with the level of female participation we have. There's, I don't know, half a dozen women at least. I mean, that are here once a month or so at least. Shannon's there pretty often. Chrissy's there. Yeah, she's been there since forever, right? Long before I was there.
She's there every single week.
She's driving 45 miles probably or whatever to every week be there. So that's great. Yeah, and that was, I don't think we ever questioned, like, should we have a women's division? That was just assumed because we have so many women here and that's a priority. So
yeah.
And then exotics.
Well, I mean, I think it's wonderful. I'm, the women's charter rep, and I'm always looking to grow the women's charter and to, it's a meta charter, so we can connect with the whole international community. And so I'm excited for the Valkyries. I'm excited to meet the Valkyries, so, and I think that it's great that you guys are offering so many things and so many different tournament types. I just wanted to touch on Tinker Train says something about, are you guys looking for new match types for the Legion? Just as an administrator, I can tell you that when you're an active member, and your charter and you're participating, one of the things that you can do is we have a comment and suggestion box. And so you can write up, some ideas or proposals, and then that information will be submitted to the sports management team. So we have a team that is built of members of TSL who have experience in this kind of thing, and they will organize it, make sure it goes to the right department, and they'll contact you with questions. And if it's something that we think is valuable or that we can work with, we'll totally be in contact or for clarifications. So go ahead and join your local charter, hang out, go to a meet or something, and then go to the comments box, write all your stuff up, and someone will be able to work with you and see if that's a viable thing. Sorry, admin hat. So.
Nope, that was the perfect question for you.
So I will say, so in Florida, we also have a local council, right? We have 12 people who sit on a local council to help administer all of the events. So, and then we do something called Mr. or Mrs. Sun Crusher. Mr. or Mrs. Sun Crusher. And this is the person who in your board, who is, I just thought of this, has, contributed the most for that particular event. So each year it encourages somebody from our local group to step up and really run the event or do the majority of the work. So would this be something that you guys would be interested in doing, and who would you vote for?
We still got a long go.
Yeah.
I don't think
I like that idea. It's kind of like you're awarding the volunteers that usually don't get much credit. That's a really good idea. I didn't really think about that, but that's a good thought to say, okay, this person deserves for all their hard work. And I like that, Melody. We'll have to maybe talk about that later.
Something we can kick around the office
here
later on.
Yes.
Yes, of course. Yes, obviously. I'm just joshing with y'all, getting you a little off here. But all right. So the last question I have is about your media. So everyone always wants to know a lot about the live stream experience, what they can expect, and what they can see, especially travelers, right? When they leave somebody at home and they want to, what can they expect to tell their loved ones?
Well, so like I said earlier, to watch the whole event, we're going to edit together highlights of what happens during the day leading up to the finals. And then for the final, we are planning on doing a live stream to the TSL pages that will, Tom will be keeping coordinated with that, and I'll be working with him on that. Depending if I make it to the finals or not, will be depending on how much I'll be watching over the live stream or not. Staying positive. Yeah.
Hey, you've come a long ways, Jason. You have a good chance of getting there. So let's just plan for it.
Yeah, I am. So that's why I said Tom's going to be watching over the live stream, and I'll be checking in with him. But once we'll have multiple cameras running on one ring. The other rings will do single cameras a piece, so that way we can, like I said, just get a highlight of the day building up to that will be premiering in October of the whole event. So,
all right.
So we'll fill everyone in.
If they make it to the finals, they can tell their loved ones to tune in. If not, they'll have the opportunity to review their stuff and still continue to build and work on their practice and their performance.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and at a certain point, once I get the whole highlights out there and everything, that's going to be my primary focus after Bladetoberfest to get that ready to stream in October. After that, then I'll start working on trying to get the individual fights uploaded to the YouTube and such, so that way people can watch their individual fights and such at a time. So, but that's really a secondary goal.
Awesome.
I want to say Jason Voorhees Davis puts a lot of time into editing videos. He does our promotions. He puts the music together. I mean, he puts a lot of hours. I don't really want to ask him because he might but I know he sometimes is a good distraction for him, and sometimes it's a lot of work. And it's kind of one of those thankless jobs because you're not on the screen. You just kind of get your name in the end. But he does a lot of work. So thank you, Jason, for doing that. And I know a big idea behind recording it all and posting it all is we want everybody to have a keepsake. Like Andy came up with all these different prizes so that it's not just, the winners that win something. We want everybody to come away with it and feel like, hey, I got this from Bladetoberfest, or here I am on video for Bladetoberfest, or I got this drawing, or I get to improve by doing a lesson with the beautiful Alec Martinez. Like we want everybody to come away from it feeling like it was worth their money. Like, but if you're going to travel 200 miles and drive through the deserts with Mark Carrico, I mean, it's got to be worth
the torture.
And I have to apologize to Patty and Shannon because I forgot. I just forgot, probably because Seth interrupted me. Probably. They're going to be doing some.
Well, hang on. Wait, not that.
Hey, Jared, just to respond to you about Grady shredding during the finals. I actually, at one point had a pitch when we were going to do this at a different church, and I had a pitch of actually getting some video of Grady in full gear shredding before we even started Bladetoberfest as a way to intro the event, but that was too much work. So we
was it with a cheese shredder?
Yeah, so speaking of what we have for prizes, also we have Shannon is going to make out of pretzel rods some miniature LED sabers that look very cool.
And I'll make enough so that everyone can have some. It'll just be a welcome to Wisconsin hospitality in lieu of a casserole. Right. Here's some pretzel sticks.
Wonderful.
I see my keto diet going right out the window when I come
get
to
him some tater tots or something. I don't know.
And then Patty is going to make some blue cookies that might be similar but not trademarkly similar to blue cookies that you saw in the Baby Yoda show. So and those are, I've had some, they're phenomenal.
Yes, they're really good.
super delicious. So
we were the test subjects, so yeah.
So what I'm hoping is that everybody gets their baked goods to take home, and then take them home or like take them to work or something. So everyone's like, hey, where'd you get that cool LED Saber pretzel? And be like, oh, I got this when I was in an LED Saber tournament over the weekend, and get the word out.
I hope you'd actually eat it, before you get to, days later at work.
Well,
then it's going to be a little stale. And
people will be like, oh yeah, if you did lightsaber, LED saber fighting, then maybe you could.
It might be stale enough that you could actually fight with it if you wait too long.
Either way.
So I wanted to. So one of the things that Seth and I were working on was. So this is a way that your pools can work. So if you have 4-person pools, you ever go to a nightclub and they give you one of these awesome things?
We're not that cool up here.
I do not know what a nightclub is.
Oh my God.
You put those on your wrist and then you know what color you're in.
We haven't been to a nightclub since we were in college together, right, Seth?
We have to explain these basic concepts.
There's bracelets for that.
Oh my God! I said such a trigger word apparently. Jesus. So okay, look. All right, look. So yes, everyone at the morning when you come check in, you'll know what your pool assignment is because you'll get one of these fabulous bracelets. And then
we have black. I need black.
Nope.
I mean, maybe.
But
then when look.
Well, you're not in that pool, Voorhees. You get green for Packer fan.
Yeah.
There you go.
It will burn.
So one of the nice things about using this is that when you call people over and you're trying to get people to come to the pools and things like that, you could just say, hey, everybody with a green thing on your wrist, come over here now. That way people don't forget what color they are. They don't forget what pool they're in. And the way that we have it set up is that if you're in pool 1, then your line judges and table judges will be called up from pool 5. So when you want pool 1 to come to the ring, you'll say, okay, everybody with the green, you're fighting, come to ring one, and then everybody with like a yellow wristband was your line judges. So everybody with a yellow, come on up because you're going to be line judging now. So it's something that we've used in Suncrusher, and Seth was able to adopt it to you guys, and I think it'll be a great way. So it's just things for people to expect as they're coming to your event, so that they can understand in the morning they'll come in to get the little bracelet. They aren't fabulous as all of your prizes. They don't even say Bladetoberfest. I'm so sorry. I know.
Don't use that word.
Don't use what word?
Fabulous.
Oh.
No, they're wonderful. First of all, you're making it sound like I had something to do with that. That's all you. I just said, yep, that's a good idea. Let's do that. The other thing I wanted to say about the pools, and we're all about giving everybody lots of opportunities, from open sparring to underground extra stuff to the multiple divisions. Like, we want everybody to have a lot of experience from this tournament. But we are doing 2 progressing. Those of us that went to TSL 5, that was like the best thing since sliced bread or mac and cheese, whatever. Alligators. I don't know what you guys do down in Florida, but anyway. Anyway, so with 2 people progressing, that's half.
Mojitos. We do mojitos.
Like, you lose a fight and you're like, geez, that was my first fight of the day and I wasn't quite wound up yet. And then kind of get comfortable and get over the jitters. I remember my first fight in Las Vegas 2 years ago was a tag team, and I just kind of froze. And I've done a lot of competition, but I just kind of froze and lost a bunch of points in a row to Jay Madden, which probably would have happened anyway. But with 2 people progressing, you're just going to have a lot of experience and a good chance of progressing. So let's do this.
Yes, I'm so
Saturday or not tired. You should be tired by the time we end on Saturday.
Yes.
You have the opportunity to be definitely tired. Absolutely. I think anyone who's coming is getting a lot of bang for their buck. You are getting a massive experience for the weekend. So I hope that anyone who's considering, we're going to wrap it up now. So anybody who's considering coming to Bladetoberfest, remember that Wednesday is the deadline to complete the registration. It has all the information about how to send in your $25 to come and hang out with, I think, one of the coolest and most community-driven charters that we have. So I'm excited. I know that everybody else should be excited. Do you guys have any final words for the audience at home?
Oh, I was going to say, well, I have asked Melody, like, with the line judge training, certified line judge training, does this tournament count as like a double point thing?
The regulations for the line judging is, I believe that every match that you do at a regional event is worth 2. So yes, double 2 points. So if you're in a pool of 4 people, and you're line judging for the pool, then you should have 3, right? So times 2. So that's 6 points right there. So, and then every time you line judge for exotics and limbs and all of the other things throughout the day, yes, you can definitely go to a regional event and knock out the majority of your points, if not all of them, honestly. So
rack them up today, on Saturday.
Because there's so much going on in such a short amount of time, but we're just going to keep things moving. That if everybody tracks their hours and gets that going, you can probably get all of them that weekend or real close to it. So
I would suggest, with how many we got going on, people pick up a pocket notepad to mark how many matches they actually judge for, because you're never going to remember it if you're doing it
all really good promotional items, guys. I totally forgot to say all the stuff about CLJ, so thank you so much, because it is one of the best programs that we have to really ensure that the community is prepared to help out at a tournament and feel confident and, do the best job that they can. So I think that, I tell people all the time, you can study everything, but until you're doing it, it's a whole different thing. And the only way you can do it is by going to an event and really getting the opportunity to try.
Mm-hmm.
So Andy did that, right? TSL 5?
Yep, knocked them all out in the weekend. It was great. Yeah, and I didn't, like Jerry, that's genius, because I did not track mine. So, because, ADHD. So I had to go through like the videos and like go through the Challenge thing and had to figure it out. It took forever. So yeah, just take a notebook or even on your phone and the notepad thing. Okay, did one, did five. Yeah, okay, there's a method to it. That did help me find myself. Just like the Mace Windu purple lightsaber, right? Just find it on the screen. I could find myself. Oh yeah, I was judging that. And that helped.
Andy was very popular in Las Vegas. He was in high demand. So just him, I know it's kind of shocking for me to compliment him. But at the same time, he did a great job line judging. And I think he even line judged for some of my fights, which is usually not standard, but people trusted him that much that they were willing to.
Well, they know I don't like you, but
What'd you say?
They know I don't like you.
Oh, okay. There's
like me in there.
They're like, if Andy gives Seth the point, then it has to be valid, really.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
You all are not privy to what our charter chat is like sometimes. Oh, yeah. Lord in heaven.
You guys seem to have an amazing culture and family, so I'm excited to come and be a part of it.
Part of it now. So.
Aw, thank you.
Yeah, we're very excited to get everybody up here, Mel especially, and everybody else. It sounds like people from all over the country. We got Boston, we got Florida, we got Arizona / Nevada, which is all basically the same desert, right? And then pretty much some mid-country. Got Bobby in there, wherever he's from.
I would love to get some California boys. David.
Yeah. And we got the Joe Blankenship coming up from Iowa, which that's just a treat for everybody. So yeah.
Tennessee, if you can mention that. Yeah, Bobby's bringing a pretty sizable crew now, 4 or 5, I think. So we are at 38 people registered total. It doesn't mean that there's 38 people in the standard event, but I hope we'll break 40. So if you're on the fence about it, this is a great starter tournament. Do not be intimidated. We have a great crew. You're gonna have a lot of fun. It's a great starter or advanced tournament. Again, with 2 people advancing, and with those 3 different tournaments, everybody's gonna get a great time and have some great fights.
Yeah, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be a great week. Great weekend. Yeah.
Say great again.
We could say fabulous, but apparently that's.
Yep, I was just gonna say we could make it fabulous.
We'll save it for next weekend when everybody's gonna be saying fabulous. Then I guess, right?
There you go.
Yeah, only because of the ugly shoes.
Yeah, man. Razzle dazzle.
That's how we find them.
All right, guys, we're going to wrap it up as we've been about an hour. And like I said, anybody who's interested in joining us next weekend, go ahead and fill out that registration form. It has all the payment information in it. And if you have any additional questions, please reach out to anyone who's been on the call this afternoon, and everyone will be happy to help you. So thank you so much for joining us again at Director's Corner. I've been Melody Graham, and this is the wonderful Wookiee Charter. So thanks so much, guys. Thank you so much for being here today.
And yes, officially a Wookette is what Jared put us.
Wookette.
I'm a Wookette. All right, I'm a Wookette. It sounds like Wookette.
So
I think I'll just be a
Alec is a Wookiee. Just let you know. So we already got him.
Yeah.
Sorry. Born in Wisconsin. He's a Wookiee.
We share. He can be a Kyber Wookiee.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay. All right, guys. Thanks so much.
All right. Thank you.